We always invest today, sacrifice today for tomorrow's betterment. But if we don't know what that betterment is, the want factor of what we're really doing it for, we can't win this war, guys.
If you had 6 months to live, what would you do differently with your life? What would you do differently? If your life is not what you want it to be, if you're not living the way that you want to live, if you're not experiencing what you want to experience, if it's not giving you what you want, you've got to ask yourself, what have I sold my soul for?
A real man in the dark, when nobody's watching, he putting in work. A real man, when coach ain't even watching, he's studying film on his own, because he loves the process. Everybody want to be a beast. Everybody got a lion. Tattoos of lions. Most of y'all think that a lion is who he is because of how ferocious he is when he catch that gazelle, when he catch that zebra. If a lion see an animal that's wounded, or a real hunter see an animal that's wounded, what do? They don't kill him. Why don't they kill him? He already hurt. And they beast. A part of being a beast just ain't eating a gazelle. A part of being a beast is the hunts. It's the hunt that they're excited about. Because real lions like to hunt. They love the process just as much as they love the prize. And some of y'all just want to score. You don't like the process. You're not in love with the process.
Well, they say when people take the courage to journey into the center of their fear, they find nothing. It is only many layers of fear being afraid of itself.
You put in 120% every time, or you don't put in nothing, because listen to me very closely. Today, this opportunity you have, it might not be here next year. It might not be here the year after next. It might not be here the year after that. This is the only moment you got, and you better take advantage of this particular moment.
You've hit the wall someplace, you've looked in the mirror too many times and haven't smiled. You want to change the situation, move from where you are. The journey is not easy. Before you start that journey mentally, you must fuel yourself with the right reasons, the right fuel to sustain the entire journey. Everyone's hot off the start.
It does not take talent. You don't have to be talented, right? You don't have to be gifted. You don't have to be the quickest, the strongest. You don't have to be the most intelligent to get to where I am. That's what you gotta do. You just gotta grind, though. Your grind. You might come from privilege. Your daddy might hook you up with a car. He might know people. He might be able to get you a job. But you will not outwork me. You better grow up and get to the point as a man that if you ever get beat, you better get beat by somebody that's just purely more talented than you are. You better not ever get beat by somebody because you beat yourself.
Okay, so this video we're going to cover the STM wow signals and the Overwatch trend. And I'm just going to give a few examples of exactly how I use these signals and how I'm basically entering into the markets. So here I've got the Bitcoin chart on replay. We'll just do 15 minutes because the 15-minute chart, they're all kind of the same for each time frame, but the 15-minute one is going to be the one that comes in more often. And there's going to be some broken signals, false signals, etc. So here we can see Bitcoin in a down movement. We've got the STM trend here. You can see it's to the downside, the scalper level to the downside. So you know we're just chilling at the moment, waiting for a wow signal. So the candles come in, and then we have our first whale signal there. So what I'm going to do is basically just mark this area up. There's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can kind of take the top and bottom of the candle and just spread this across, and basically this is going to be our entry zone After a couple of different details, I'll just go over that in a moment. So we're just going to wait for some confirmations, for some extra clues. We're not just going to hit the button as soon as we see this whale appear, because that'll just be daft. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for a little touch of this area. Okay, so you can do it from the top and the bottom of the candle, or the body of the candle, the low to the open of the candle, or a couple of different ways. So personally, I like the open to the low of the candle for buy entries, and the high to the open of the candle for sell entries. So here we've got this labeled up. I just changed this. This just knocks it off different time frames. So if I go up to an hour one time frame, this doesn't exist. So we're going to wait for a touch of this area or close to it to start building some entries. So as we forward this on, okay, so we're starting to move away from this level now, and the way the liquidity is generated really is we're going to start to come back down into this area, and then shorters are going to come, or long positions are going to exit, because it's come back down to the level that they entered, so they'll just close it, or it might pierce down, trigger the stop losses from those longs. There's so many different dynamics, but this is the way the liquidity is generated, so we can start to fire off. Okay, so it did exactly that. It just dropped into the area, took out the liquidity with the spike, and just holding in here. So on the close of this candle would be a good entry. Okay, so you can enter there. So let's enter here. So first of all, what I'm going to say is that we will split entries up into two entries, so we can start that way. So say if we're going to enter an X amount, we'll just split it in half and go in on the first entry, and then on the second entry, if it comes down lower and another whale signal appears, maybe I'm complicating this, but just don't go all in on the first entry, and this will allow us to manage at the second entry if it comes down again into this area, and potentially get a better entry. Okay, so now this STM level has broke. We can see some nice profits. We can just basically move this stop loss into profit. So we'll just adjust the stop loss there. And then the trade is pretty much a scratch trade. Any profits can be ran up, and it's all good. Here we can see that the profit has been erased. We couldn't see how much profit that was, but needless to say, if we had a stop loss under this low, or even under this low here, which is quite large, we've still got some nice profits. So we'll leave it here for now. But the point is that when we have a whale signal and we get an entry, if it moves away, we're locking in straight away, because this could straight away come back down, trigger or move down low, and the move's done. So these 15-minute entries are literally scalper entries for multiple trades per day. So we can see here that the STM level is broken, it's moved down below, it's come back up and stopped at that area. Okay, so we're back at the entry. So this could potentially be entered again because it's so close. I mean, we've had this profit. We could have took a piece off, but we didn't, because we've only got one portion of entry in. We could have took half off. Okay, so now we've got a whale signal come in. We will go over the simulation of what we will do for an entry here, and basically we're just going to wait for a touch, or the price comes near to this area, and we're going to rock and roll. So we nearly got a touch there, but it was close. We could have took an entry there, but really we want a touch. It's all about waiting for the touch into this area, because there we go. So, like I said, we're looking for an entry into this area. That the stronger the move away from this area, the better. But that could signify potential manipulation, especially on the lower time frames. But here, what we can see is we can see a spike into this area. Okay, great. So that's going to have closed the long trades from this area. We have spiked down below this low, which will have closed the long trades from the stop loss, plus the trades from the traders that have brought their stop loss to break even. But needless to say, they're going to get knocked out of the market. So that's going to generate liquidity. And then from there, we can look for an entry. Okay, so maybe on the next candle, if it pushes in, we can end up there. But even if it starts to move away, it's okay. So yeah, so we'll buy one. At this point, you can add another one in, but we've got a whole one Bitcoin, or one position size here. So we're just going to rock it from here, and then we will talk about potential profit taking at the different areas. So this could be a potential area to take profit, because we're back at this local high. Looking at your chart, looking at the entry that you've positioned yourself at, we can potentially start to shave profits off. So you could take off 10%. So we could take off, damn it. Okay, so we'll try that again. So we can take off potentially like 0.1. Damn. So you can't take off portions of positions. So, but what I would do is take off like 10% at this local high. Then potentially 10% at the STM level, or maybe even more, like 20 or 30% at the STM level, because it's likely we may see a retracement at this point. And then I'd look back up these areas for the swing highs, like this particular point, and then this is the big one, this whale area. So this is just the opposite of what we have drawn on. So this is the range. This is the whale range, like so. So this is going to be the top take profit area for this trade, unless an opposing whale signal comes in. Now, I just want to talk about this whale signal, because this whale signal is here. But if I was to draw a box on like so, we can see that this candle has broken it. So it's invalid. We want the swing high, not a random whale just in there. So let's continue on with this bar chart replay. So you can see how we've broken above here. This would be a good place to exit some profits. But we've got $451 running. Nice profit on the table. So this is where, as this is moving up, we need to start taking profits off the table. I'm not going to adjust the stop loss, because that's just going to knock everything out of the market, and then we've got to start from the beginning. So you can place the stop loss if you like, but it would have to be under a safety area like this low, or even this low, to be fully safe. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of using stop losses. The reason being is because I'm managing the position all the time. But if you do want to put a stop loss, I would suggest under one of these lows. But you are going to be a target. There is going to be a target on your back, and they could potentially go for it. But we'll leave it here for now. Another better way, but it may generate frustration and emotion, because you might see some wicks depending on the exchange you're trading on. You can leave this underneath this scalper level. Okay, so this scalper level, you can see the scalper on the side there. We can just keep it below there. Okay, and then at least if it does come down, you're going to take profits, and it may come all the way back down, but it may just move. Okay, and you check your position and you're out of the markets and you've missed out. So this is just a part and parcel of emotional management in trading. So we'll continue. So the scalper's moving up here, we can move that up. Scalper's moving up here, so we can continue to move it up. Maybe leave it underneath a swing low. Okay, one of these swing lows, because we can see bullish engulfing candles coming up. So if that's broken, then it means that those positions are locked. Them positions are removed, and we could see a bigger retracement. Okay, so scalpers broke there, and we're done. So yeah, that's how you would use an entry on the whale signal. It's very refined. This is what I've been using for a long, long time now, and I've kind of built these whale signals into this system now, and I'm sharing it with you guys. So if you use it, you use it. If you don't, that's cool. So I'm going to continue now and just talk about how you could potentially do it as a multiple. So as you can see here, I've got two positions, two contracts ready to fire into that position, and I'll just show you how you can use that. So we're waiting for that entry. The entry comes in, we will enter, then as this moves away, you see, like I said, we can take a little bit off here, which is good, but I'm just going to wait for it here. So as we can see, that break, so that break here, we can just take one off. So we will sell one. So with banks already, the profit that we had from the previous stop loss, and we've still got some running, so we will continue to run that and do exactly the same that we did. Okay, so we'll get the stop loss, run it up the scalper level. So we'll run it up the scalper level. Okay, so the scalper level broke there. You could just go ahead and take profit here, but it's not a reliable indicator, like as in it can, like here, for example, it scoops underneath. It scoops underneath here, but the STM level holds and it continues up. So it could continue. So that's why it's best just to leave it below the swing low. And we get stopped out in a sec. There we are. So as you can see here, 640, yes, double, but we managed it by one, taking some profit at the potential resistance area, which is going to be the STM level or local high. So at that point there, look, we can see we have pretty much closed, okay, above. Now, if we just look at this, we can see that just in there, there's another bullish engulfing, okay. So these bullish engulfings are part of the whale signal. It has to be engulfing, and that is a very powerful candle. So we can enter again here. Let's just see. We can have a stop loss underneath here. That is good. We do need a stop loss under here. Now if we get into like charting patterns, I'm trying to keep it simple on the whale signals here, but all this stuff lines up. So it will always come back down into this. This is a key level. We come into the golden pocket area. The golden pocket area is between 61.8 and 80% for me. Okay, so that's a Fibonacci entry we can see coming down, and you can see, look, the target is right up at this whale area. Okay, but this is just an extra thing that you don't need to put this on, but I'm just showing you why this particular retracement here is good for an entry. Not to mention we're in an uptrend. Look, we've got higher highs, high lows and higher highs, so it's a good spot. But what I'm focusing on in this video is simply the importance of the whale area. Okay, it's a magnet, it's come down, all the orders are filled, which means the next magnet, which is this whale area, is going to pull the price up, and then this liquidity is going to empty here. There you go. let me just rewind that candle. Okay, so this, like I just said, the magnet, it just forces its way up. It has taken the liquidity from the top of the rectangle and closed below, so that's an exit. Okay, so we're back at our first entry here, and we are entering. We take our first piece off. We adjust. We get knocked out the market, then we're looking for a re-entry. Okay, so we broke the STM level. Okay, so we can see it's choppy here. So really, this is the thing. Like, we can enter trades, that's fine, but where is the optimal point to enter trades? The optimal point is the key levels or the fib levels, but that's a separate thing. So you can potentially draw on fib levels, and the fib levels would be simply the high to the low. So like that. And as you can see here, look at that exactly. That's why it's moved down. Okay, because it's touched that. So we've got this spot here, or we've got the spot here, but because this is retraced now, we can also, I may be complicating things here a little bit. Look at this. Okay, so it's just simply using the swing highs to look for these zones, and they're basically pivot points that you can use to take profit. Okay, so then we've got our second entry here. And that's our exit right there. So sell one. Then it's broken above here, which is cool, very cool. We can potentially wait for a retest of this area now, so we can knock that off because it's broken above. And then we're essentially waiting for this whale signal to come into the opposing side. But we're in a position here, okay? We're in a position where we're in profit. We can add to this position, okay? Because if this fires off, then we've got a large position where we can take off. But if this really starts to go flying, we're not going to have a position. So this is important to really don't don't do anything stupid at this point. Just let it run. So we'll just stop loss, like we say, at the scalper. There's a big gap between the scalper and the price. Okay, so the whales come in. You can adjust the stop loss or something, but really we've got a whale here. If you've got large position, then take some off, take at least half off, because we could potentially just see a little move down and then continue. So if you put the stop loss here or you exit everything, then you could be missing out on a move. So it's best to take off over 50% here of what you've got remaining. I can't do that here, so we're just going to take the lot off and rock and roll. So you can see bouncing off this scalper level. Now, if I just adjust this, oh, another whale come in, but he then broke, and we're sitting in this area here, which is So there you go. So you can see by these coloured bars coming in. As it comes into these red boxes, there are people selling here, but then it breaks above. It wants to continue to go higher, but unfortunately we're not in the markets here, so we're going to have to wait. It's just part and parcel of trading. So you'll notice how these work also. So this has been broken, but this can double up as a support level. You don't really need to worry about that because the STM level will be there. Okay. So pushed up, stole liquidity, moved down. We don't have a whale. We do have one here. It's all about the swing high. Okay, so you get the picture on how to manage these particular whale signals. Now, what I will say is when we move to the Discord group, so I've got the Discord group here. So what I'll put here is the whale signals from the whale buying on specific time frames. So we've talked about that. The Overwatch trend, so signals looking for bull or bear trend. Now, if I just scroll back up here, we had this 6-hour trend, okay, coming at 6 a.m. on the 26th of January. So 6 a.m. on the 26th of January is particularly just here, okay, at this particular point, and look at what's happened. We've had this nice move from 40k up to 43k. So the point is the Overwatch trend, when it's telling us it's green, we're looking for the long positions. Okay, we're only looking for long positions. If it's red, we're not looking for long positions. We're looking to exit or look for sell positions if that's your thing. So that's the first thing. So we're looking for long positions, and we found them. So if the Overwatch is green and a whale signal comes into the downside, you can disregard it because look, you can see from the 26th at 6 a.m. Overwatch turns green, we fire away. We get 1, 2 signals, 3 signals, 4, 5 signals. You can use these still, remember what I said, because when we start to draw the boxes on here, they line up, but they're just going to get broken. So it's just potentially an area for you to sell a bit of profit when it breaks up higher. You can enter back in on the retracement or a whale signal. So that's the key to the Overwatch trend, and that Overwatch trend is going to be optimized through NinjaTrader and strategy that I've built to help me optimize this. So let's continue the price action here. We're going to speed this up and see if we've got any more whale signals come in. Okay, there's one. Okay, so this whale signal come in last night. So when we look at this candle, we can see the candle is at about 12 o'clock when it closes. So this is midnight. We can see on the Discord channel 12 o'clock midnight. You can see here Wednesday, January 31st, 12 a.m. midnight. Whale signal, 15-minute buy price 42942. So you can see there 942, that's where we're at. So we're going to do the same. So we've entered a portion here, just one, okay, because remember, if this does continue in, we haven't seen it move away yet, so we can wait and potentially scale in extra bits, our extra 50% or whatever we've got left, and continue to manage it. Because what's going to happen is we could potentially get another whale signal on a different time frame, and that's going to conflict things. So that's what happened last night, is both at midnight we had a 15-minute buy signal and a 4-hour sell signal. So I'm going to show you how you can manage that just after we've managed this particular entry, because this entry is a little bit different and I just want to talk about this one. So Look at that, we're grinding into the area, grinding, we spike, still the liquidity and close again. Right, okay, so we take another one there because there's two wow signals, look. Okay, so that's good to see. When we see another wow signal come in the box, that's nice. Okay, so we've got a third whale signal there. I'm only going to stick at two, but we broke above the scalper and we're moving away. This is the local high. This is the first take profit area, potential profits taken here. Okay, so we can see here it's coming here. It's just 1, 2, 3. Not looking good. Back in the area, we're not really seeing much happening here. Okay, so what are we seeing here? We're basically seeing it move up, snap back down, move up, snap back down, move up, snap back down. So this is numerous times. It looks like it wants to break above, so we'll wait for a little spike and see what happens. Okay, that's it. We're in a loss here. We're not looking good. That's not good. Okay, this is not a good example. We've tried numerous times, and this is why it's important to locate that local high and just to monitor it. Okay, are we going to break above it? We can see there's numerous other resistances up here, but we haven't broke this minor resistance, and now we're back in the area. We're back in a loss. Not good, not good. So sometimes it's good to, you know, when the price does move into a bit of profit, just move it up. If it's early, if it's very early in the trade, just move it up because it can move down, spike you back out, or just basically make a fool of you. So this is why sometimes a bit of profit taken off at this point if you're scalping. Otherwise, just monitor this particular high. Okay, so then we've basically got locked out here. We lost in a drawdown. Okay, so another one come in. So this is ruined. We've got a new wow signal here. So maybe giving too much information here, but so essentially this is why it's important to, when this trade moves into profit, you adjust the stop loss up to scalper level. Okay, especially if the price moves out this green box, just move the stop loss up to the scalper level, and then if the price breaks the scalper level, like we can see here, and can't get back above it, well, that's game over. You know, you can hold the trade, but like you say, you've just lost all these profits. And if you think, trust me, like when you're trading full time and you're doing this for a living, it's you don't want to do that because it's taking money out of your pocket. It's like we had $200-300 here in profit, a couple of $100 in profit, and then we ended up minus 400. So you've like lost 200 plus minus 400, so you've lost $600 there. And yeah, you can manage it forwards, but what's the point? You could have took $200, enter the trade again here, and just continue to build. So this is how we would do it. So we buy two. Then now the price has moved above the scalper level. We're keeping our eye on this scalper level. We're moving outside the box. Okay, so we're outside the box now. We're going to keep our eye on that scalper level. If the price breaks down under the scalper level, then it is game over. We're going to move this into profit a little bit underneath the swing low, underneath the scalper. Nearly exited there, look, see. But continue. That's good there because then we've got this low here with liquidity, and that is our reference point. We are out now, so we can just adjust this up, maybe just a couple of pips, just a couple. So it's still too early at that point because we can see it dips underneath the scalper and back up. we've dipped under, and we've actually stayed underneath, so it's giving us clues. You can maybe just a couple of more pips at this point. Closed above, that's good. You'd think that's good at that point, so you can just move it up a little bit if you want to scoop in the profit. You can really shave off pips here. So at that point where you see it move up, you can start to shave up a bit more underneath this particular low. And at this point, we're thinking it's about to bust out. Okay, so at that point, then you're just basically just thinking, oh man. Okay, now we're back in the game, so then you can move it up a bit closer to this particular swing low. Okay, and now we're just like, oh man, and then we're at. So that's the difference between managing it or just going, oh, I'm gonna have a stop loss here, or I'm gonna have a take profit there. You don't understand because it's dynamic. Every single candle matters. Every single candle is giving us a clue into the direction, etc. So we need to manage it properly. So that's good. So that's how we would do that. And as we can see by the whale alerts here, we can see one coming in at 2:30, which is this one coming in at 3 a.m., which is this one, and then when we forward the chart, this whale entry coming in at 12 p.m. today, 11:45, sorry. And then we've got the 4-hour one, which I'm going to look at in a minute, and then we've got one at 12:30 here. Okay, so when we move into this current whale signal, move away, looking for an entry. Okay, second spot. We're not going to touch that. We can. Okay, in fact, yeah, let's just do it. So we've got double kind of support here. Two whale signals. We're moving into it. Okay, so basically, this is current price action. This is where we're at now. So what we can do is we will just leave this. We can put a kind of buy thing here just to signify what we're looking at, and basically apply the principles that we had. So you can see, if I just move this out of the way, look at the whale area and look at the price. The price has moved right down and stopped at the bottom of the whale area and moved up. Okay, not to mention we have basically touched the bottom whale area, and well, we just worked, touched and come back up. But this is an example again of how we would utilize this and use the whale signals as an entry and how to manage it moving away. I mean, geez, I can't say more than that. Basically, telling you exactly how to manage every entry. So that's it. Okay, so as we can see from last night, at the same time, at 12 a.m., we had a minute 15 buy signal come in at the same time as the hour 4 sell. Now, it's going to be difficult for me to replay both charts because it doesn't quite work like that, but I just want to talk about what you're going to look at. You're looking at two different times, okay? One for each candle here is 16 of these candles, okay? So if a buy signal comes in on the minute 15, like we say here, we can have 16 of these candles come in before the next candle of the hour 4 comes out. This is the candle that this represents, okay? So as this signal comes in, we are simply looking at the 4-hour time frame, doing the same thing as I just talked about. We apply the area, and this is why I've got this template for the 4-hour sell. Okay, so I know this is the 4-hour area, and then this was the candle. Okay, so all this is signifying is that at this point, if you look at the 4-hour area, there's a little buy opportunity here. Okay, and we got it. we had a little move up, okay, a little scalp in this area, but we moved down lower. So when we're looking at the future ones, we've seen mini 15 buy opportunities here on this lower time frame, but then a 4-hour sales come in, bam, move down. So basically what we're looking at is this on our chart. Okay, we've got 4-hour sell areas, 4-hour sell areas. And we've got these lower time frame buy opportunities. So all it's saying is that on a lower time frame, we can take opportunities, but we have to make sure that we keep an eye on these. And how you can do that is just simply by syncing in layout. You can see this is a spot where we can potentially take profits, and look at where I've put the upper area. This is where we're going to take our first profits. Again, copy this over, and we can see this is another area. And this can be done on a 1 hour time frame. It's better to apply systems to this. I'm overcomplicating things maybe, but I'm just explaining. If someone's in this group and they see at the same time, bam, whale buy and whale sell, I'm just explaining how to interpret that and use it to your advantage. So we've got the same thing here again. 4-hour sell. Oh, actually that didn't come in at the same time, but again, looking at the price now, look at exactly right at the bottom there. Okay, and we're coming up to the first profit target, and basically that's it. Smashing it, man, absolutely smashing it. Been editing the videos that we've done from the entries, and we can see these entries that we were talking about before and how they've been executed perfectly. So I've just quickly rewound this, okay, and we can see from this point it's very quickly shot off up, and we're starting to hit this 4-hour area. And if we just rock this candle has dipped back into this area to potentially fill orders and maybe exit or track out some stop losses, and then carrying on. There we can see straight up into that area, and look, we've hit up into that area and then hit orders and then moved down. Pretty much exactly what we talked about. So moving on from there, wow, look at that one. So this particular candle, as you can see, dipped back down into the scalper level, closed above all of these candles. So what this is these wicks on the left hand side signify upper resistance, and then following that, wick to the downside, closed higher, shows it flipped it. And then without pretty much any delay, we're straight up magnetized to the upper area. And that's it really. So that is how we're doing it. So we haven't even had any opposite signals come in, but we have we've hit into that 4-hour area. As you can see, we had that loaded up before. We've had this 4-hour area loaded up before. So that's just simply how we're going to use those areas. And another spectacular example.
See, let me share something with you. The easiest thing I've ever done was to earn $1 million. The most difficult thing I've ever done was to believe it could happen to me. That was the most difficult part, to believe.